Look, I think today is a crucial test for the National Assembly and for MPs who are really struggling against a bill that has been put forward by the Ministry of State Security to increase its powers and to clamp down on the flow of information. And we're very worried today that MPs have basically failed to hear the voices of communities who've spoken out against the secrecy bill and who believe this bill can be used to undermine our right to access information, our right to know. And which is why we're gathering outside Parliament. We're gathering at a series of pickets, in fact, across the country today to raise our voices in protest against this and to say, look, if the bill passes today, it's one step closer to being legislation. And it's clear that the people of South Africa have rejected this bill by and large. And if we need to, we'll take it to the court. But certainly we're not going to stop mobilizing against this bill, and we reject it. I think it's crucial that people are able to find their voice on this. This is the People's Parliament. It's our Parliament. It's not a Parliament that belongs to the Ministry of State Security. And while the ruling party has promised consultation on this bill, it's promised public consultations on this bill, those public consultations haven't happened. So people need to gather in the streets to remind parliamentarians that the public hasn't forgotten this. We haven't turned a blind eye to this. And we're not happy. We're angry. We're frustrated. People haven't been consulted, and they're speaking out against it. The Right2Know campaign is a coalition of about 400 civil society organizations and community groups from across the country. And essentially, what we reject about the secrecy bill is that it gives too much power to officials in government to classify information as secret and keep it out of the public domain. And it threatens those of us who attempt to access that information that's been classified or release it because we think that information is being kept secret improperly. It's information that should be in the public domain that government is trying to hide from the public. If we expose it, we face very, very severe prison sentences. Up to 25 years, in fact, for exposing state secrets. And there's a fear that when you give this power to officials, and there's no safety mechanism for whistleblowers, no protection for those who speak out against secrecy, you're starting to create a society where there are too many secrets, where there's not enough accountability, and where the ordinary members of the public don't have the right to know.
Now, as far as the bill is concerned, a constitutional expert has said there are a lot of loopholes that are still yet to be tightened up in relation to the bill before it gets passed off. Now, can you tell us about any of these loopholes that you might have noticed?
There's a few. The first is that the bill essentially gives the power to officials within the state security apparatus and elsewhere to classify information to protect, and the stated reason for that is to protect the national security of the republic, saying we're keeping information out of the hands of our enemies who are going to use it against us. But the problem is that once you give that power to officials, you have to have very, very strict guidelines about what can be made secret and what shouldn't be made secret to prevent the bill from being used to hide corruption, to hide illegal behavior, activities that undermine human rights, and so on and so forth. And so there's one loophole is in what can be made secret. Potentially, certain things can be made secret to, with officials saying that it's necessary to make those secrets to protect national security, but actually they're protecting themselves from the eyes of the public and people who essentially we're worried that information can be classified as secret in this bill.